with another round of applause.
Thank you. Ago. Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I stand on the protocols so that we can get going. Tonight is a night of a very emotional night for me personally. I know the journey we've been through to get here, Marsha and Dave, and also the fact that this movie, Joseph, is dedicated to one man who I call a mentor of blessed memory, Honorable Jacob Echebi Lamte, who in the year 2007 saw the vision and to build on the Pan-African legacy that we have, PANAFEST, initiated a project called the Joseph Project. That project was to bring our brothers and sisters back home from the African diaspora, sorry. Fast forward 12 years later, His Excellency the President proclaimed 2019 as a year of return, and we've seen a number of African diaspora who have come back home. And to have a movie like this premiering here is a testament to what we can do as Africans if we pull together. And so if you will indulge me, may I respectfully ask that we rise and observe a minute silence in the honor of Jake Echebi Lamte. May his soul and the soul of all the dearly departed rest in perfect peace. Amen. So tonight, it's not a night for speeches, but we want to that Marsha and Dave have put in to get us to where we are today. Their story is a story of tenacity, of not giving up, of staying the course, and fulfilling a dream. Before we even see what this movie means, I believe their story is a story that we can all emulate as Ghanaians, Africans, that we should never give up. Because I know what they've gone through, the challenges, but every time when you think it's over, they keep coming, that this thing is going to happen. So if you may rise so that we can give you a proper ovation, please, the two of you. Thank you. And finally, to the cast and the crew, I believe we have something that is unique. Seeing so many people, diverse backgrounds in this movie, from Ghana, from Jamaica, from Barbados, coming together. It shows that in unity we have strength. And so tonight we play glowing tributes to all the people who are behind the scenes. First, the crew. If you are here, please rise, let's give it to you, please. Finally, the stars of the movie. They are the ones who will see. They are the ones who will take all the glory. But the glory belongs to them. We have the lead actor here. Please, if you will rise so that we can give you a proper. This is our Joseph, who has come back home. This is what you hear, please. Joseph, here. And you're called Joseph. So wait. That is our Joseph right here. He's back for good. And all the other cast, if you can rise, please, and let's give you the proper honors if you're here. So, enjoy the movie. God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ajuman. Let's do it one more time for him. Now, usually for an MC, I should be doing an introduction about the movie and all of that, but I don't know much about the movie, and this is on purpose. So, at this juncture, allow me to introduce the person to tell us all about this movie, the executive director of the movie, Mr. David Weeks. Shall we give him a round of applause?
Thank you, Mr. Master of Ceremonies. It is a great honor and a pleasure for me to be here in Accra, Ghana on this auspicious occasion. Thank you, the Secretary of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana, Honorable Ministers of Government, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Mr. Akwasi Agyeman, and staff of the Ghana Tourism Authority, members of the Jake Otanko Obetis, help me here, Obesibi Lampi family, distinguished members of the film industry of Ghana and beyond, cast, crew of the film, Joseph, representatives of the media, radio, television, and the digital community, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is a great honor and privilege to be here with you on this very special occasion, the premiere of the film Joseph. We thank His Excellency and the government of the people of Ghana for providing this very prominent platform within the calendar of the events of the year of the return. For us, the world premiere of our movie in this city is truly a seminal moment. We are here in Ghana to report back that the hemorrhaging which Africa suffered at the hands of the transatlantic slave trade did not destroy our spirit. Indeed, it has demonstrated the resilience of our people. This chapter of our history gave birth to a survivor, a powerful people, a people who are the Caribbean and the Africans of the Americas. The Caribbean was shaped in large measure by our African ancestors. Of you came great leaders such as Michael Manley of Jamaica, Errol Barrow of Barbados, Mr. Forbes Burnham of Guyana, Mr. Eric Williams of Trinidad and Tobago, among many others. They are the architects of our independence movement. In the creative sector, you have birthed people such as Bob Marley, the mighty Sparrow, the mighty Gabby, great poets such as George Lamin and Camus Baffet, and the multifaceted Rex Nettleford. In sports, you have spawned the great Usain Bolt, Shelley-Ann Fraser-Price, Asafa Powell, Ato Boldman, just to name a few. There was sometimes very painful in how the seed of Africa was dispersed across the Caribbean and the Americas. However, that pain of slavery was the engine used to spread the powerful, dynamic, flamboyant, and brilliant seed of Africa all over the world. The Caribbean and the Americas are primarily recipients of this seed. Consider the pollination displayed in Barbados, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, and the rest of the 44 million people of the Caribbean. Consider the absolutely breathtaking gifts of the African Americans. God, in His wisdom and strategy, has flipped the coin on greed and evil to gift the earth with some of the best of Africa outside of Africa. This film, Joseph, is a prime example of this. Two humble children of slaves have returned to Africa, to Ghana, with an offering in film. This film is meant to be an inspiration and is an honor to our own, the late Jake Otanka Obesebi Lampi, who birthed the Joseph Project back in 2007. It must have been divine destiny that the film was given a working title of Joseph in December of 2018 in Barbados, prior to any knowledge of the work of this great Ghanaian. This film is co-written and directed by my wife, the awesome Marcia Weeks. Who is herself a great inspiration, and produced by Step Productions Inc. out of Barbados. As we commemorate the 400th year of the arrival of the first enslaved Africans in Jamestown, Virginia, in what was the transatlantic slave trade, in this year of return, we pray the film will add another dimension to this commemoration. As you watch the film for the first time, our prayer is that you will be incited to seek and find out more about this seed which was uprooted from your shores, and to understand the miracle of resilience which those survivors brought with them to the Caribbean and the Americas. We are that miracle, and we thank you for welcoming us home. Thank you.
And we also thank you, Dave, and your beautiful wife. Let's do it one more time for them. Before we take the next speech, I'd like to also acknowledge the steering committee of the Year of Return. Let's give them a resounding round of applause. They've done a great job putting everything together. Okay, so finally we'll take a word from the representative of the President, the Secretary to the President, Mr. Nana Asante Bedieto. Let's do it for him, please.
The Director General of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Ambassadors, Excellencies, Dean and members of the Diplomatic Corps, Director of Diaspora Affairs at the Office of the President, Director of Culture and Arts at the National Commission on Culture, David and Marcia Weeks, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to be here with you this evening. Unfortunately, the President couldn't be here and sent me to represent him. I think largely because, as he said, you like these things. So, but the President is someone who's very much a film buff. Those who know him well will tell you that he spends hours watching film. Whenever we have to travel on official trips, after he goes through his papers, he sits down to watch film. He doesn't sleep. He just watches 2 or 3 films by the time we get to our destination. He's someone who's been encouraging film arts and music, been a lawyer for people like Fela and Hugh Masekela, and is well known as someone quite interested in the arts. He would have loved to have been here, but unfortunately his schedule doesn't permit him to be here. I'm very excited about this film, Joseph. I mean, for much of the things, the reasons that David Weeks himself has expressed. For it to happen in the Year of Return is just fantastic. As a collaboration between among 3 countries, Ghana, Jamaica, and Barbados, I think it cements what the Year of Return is all about. Reaching out to our kith and kin in the diaspora and making sure that after so many years, we really are getting together. I'm sure it doesn't surprise most of you to know that just Barbados is 5 hours from Accra as the crow flies, but to get to Barbados will take you about 20 hours. Yeah. It is really a tragedy, and I think we ought not to allow the vestiges of colonialism and neo-colonialism to divide us and separate us from our people. The President earlier this year took a tour of 5 Caribbean countries, and Barbados was one of them, the other was Jamaica. And what we found in almost all of the 5 countries that we went to was just how Ghanaian, just how West African our brothers and sisters are. The national hero of Guyana, for example, is a man named Kofi. In the hotel in Kingston, Jamaica, a lot of the people who worked there had their name tags. You'd see Abna, Adwa, and you're wondering whether you're in Accra, and those are their names. There are people up in the hills of Jamaica and the Akompons who do everything the way the Akans of Ghana do it. They're drumming, except they call their chief a colonel. Every chief, the chief is called a colonel. But otherwise, the traditions have not changed at all. In 400 years of slavery couldn't separate them from their spiritual home. As many of you know, Ghana has about 75% of the forts and castles that were built for slavery. And so, in a sense, it being also the geographic center of the world, the Year of Return is marking it as the center of the black world. And I'm so happy that we got to make a few hundred people new citizens just a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure some of them are here. Personally, I had tears in my eyes. It's one of the most phenomenal things that you'll ever see, that people becoming new citizens of Ghana, people who've, in their hearts and their minds, have thought of Ghana and West Africa as their home, and finally becoming citizens. We hope that the year of return is really just the beginning, and that next year they'll be after the return, and the year after that, and we will continue to build bridges with our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, in the Americas, so that when we say that there's been 400 years of resilience, it does mean something. Just yesterday, CARICOM, the regional political body for the Caribbean, established an office in Kenya. And it tells you that this year of return is bringing a lot of things together. We hope that soon there will be an ambassador of CARICOM to the African Union, and vice versa. And we hope that not only will people from the Caribbean and the Americas come to Ghana and Nigeria and Kenya and Senegal, but that Ghanaians and West Africans will also visit those places. They're beautiful islands, and I think you'll find that when you go there, you're looking really at your your cousins and your friends. Just one last story. When we got to Barbados for the official visit, you know, every time the president goes to a country, there's usually a guard of honor at the airport. And as he was inspecting the guard of honor, he's looking at these soldiers, and he finishes and he's telling the Prime Minister of Barbados, I mean, he has to pinch himself because he thinks he's in Ghana, because the faces he sees every day at the Jubilee House among the police and the other security officials. So we really, really are one people. And I'm delighted that we're beginning to now do things that really portray us as one people. I also want to thank the producers of the film for recognizing the work of Jacob Tanko Bechebilamte, who was the originator of the idea of the Joseph Project, and which has really brought all of this about. I congratulate you for recognizing him, and thank you very, very much. I hope that you enjoy the film. I myself am a big fan of films, and I'm sure that you'll be entering this film in some of the international film festivals and competitions, so that it gets the recognition that it deserves. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Asante-Bediatu. Let's do it one more time for him. At this point, I'd like to acknowledge the mayor of Accra, who has just joined us, Mr. Mohammed Ajay-So. So give him a round of applause. Someone said I'm speaking a lot of foreign languages, so this time I'm come to say Akwaba. No more fun at Akwaba.
Akwaba, Evitaga.
All right then. Okay, so the moment we've all been waiting for. At this point, I would like to crave your indulgence, please. With all due respect, would like everybody to keep their recording devices either off or away. This is more like a private viewing, and we wouldn't like any leaks now. So please, with all due respect, especially the media and even with the audience, filming of the movie now is prohibited. So with all due respect, let's all together acknowledge this and watch the movie nicely, and everything would end nicely. Okay? All right, thank you so very much. So, our technical team, I believe we're ready. We can let the lights down.